Saturday, March the 21st, 2015, as we approach the Faroe Islands. I'm going on a tour today. I didn't exchange any currency, so I certainly won't be spending any money. Overcast, very windy day, possibly drowning out my poetry. It is even windy around this side. Two Faroes ships were due to dock here today at the same time. So whether it was a race first come first serve, I don't know. Anyway, time for breakfast. And now at 7:20 we have signs of habitation. The houses built on this approach to the village we're going to dock in are facing south, which is probably very wise. There's another sort of building over there. There is also a small lighthouse we can see just there. The view from the back of the ship, showing the viewing platforms, statue of Boudica, and the swimming pool gently lapping away here with the two hot tubs brim full, bubbling water at 90 something degrees. A vessel of some sort escorting us in there. I've received an interim statement which shows I'm in credit still to the tune of £50 and 3p, but there are some photographs, the getting off the boat photographs in Norway, one with a troll, another with the polar bear, and one with a Viking, so I must get those added on. This may be the village where we're docking. Apparently it had a terminal made for the cruise ships, which will have brought more trade to the places on the Faroes. Faroes, mainly famous for its place on the shipping forecasts. Doggercrommity Firth Faroes. The currency in Faroes is the Danish krone, so I suppose it's attached to Denmark. There's an interesting little hill. But the timing of my trip this morning means there won't be any time left to explore. Just take the 2.5 hour trip around the islands. a much lower latitude than Norway, so not much snow. The time now approaching 7:30. That clearly wasn't the port at which we were due to dock, because we've gone well past it now. There's the boat still keeping pace with us as we approach. More properties and the transmitter. So we swing round. Not many properties on the higher ground, all congregated on the shore, which will make it much warmer and less windy, no doubt. Here is the settlement on the near side of the ship. There's a little harbour just there, and another sheltered one here. These are what I believe are the north-facing ones, which must be a much colder aspect than the others. As we slowly drift in. The gardens seem to match the countryside, so not much cultivation in the way that we have in England. Just the grassy outlook that we see on the rest of the country. There is a mini lighthouse just there, sticking out of the ground. I noticed there the garden, which does appear to be cultivated. It's certainly a different coloured grass, and one higher up also. It looks as if that grass gets mown. And there is a stream running down. Under the little bridge and out to sea. Just there. It looks as if we lost the race to be first into the terminal, but I think there is a second space there, so the port can certainly cope. I think we're a little late, and maybe the first tour won't be departing at 8 o'clock as scheduled. Braemar, which apparently was travelling parallel to us on part of the journey overnight. Here is our latest position off the Faroes, and here is the track of our journey. Apparently it's somewhat different from what was expected. Straight down to the west coast of Scotland, through passing the Isle of Lewis in that way.
Fairly straight. This is not doing. Is it? And how's that going to? Oh, okay. It's going.
The bridge camera, as shown on the cabin television, is showing a nice view with Braemar already docked there. We are behind it. We can see the coach just arriving. We're still docking at 8 AM, running a few minutes late. And here is the ticket for today. 2.5 hour tour, I believe. 8:45 to 11:15, and we're due back on board at 11:30. So I hope we don't run late or we'll miss the boat. And we see all the coach trips with the coaches all nicely lined up. The view from the front shows the boat. Down below we see a gathering of 4 tour guides, I suspect. And yet another coach arrives. As the walkers doing their regular walk around the deck walk past and doing their exercises on the way as well. The steps have just been pulled out and 2 police officers have joined the people down there. Very brief number plates on Faroes, so I guess there can't be many cars around. There we see BP 932, the police vehicle JK 620, TE 039. So perhaps some scope for personal plates here. JG 001 would be nice. I don't know what the letters represent, but they probably represent the region of registration. The red carpet has just been rolled out, and the Faroes Cruise Line banner put at the side of the steps on the way down. The people on the first of the tours are now leaving. That was scheduled to leave at 8 o'clock. It's now 8:30 due to some illness on the sister ship Raymar, so that had to get into port first, which delayed us by about half an hour. So we descend the steps to the Faroe Islands this time, to be met by a very smart gentleman. At Runavík we were met by this smart crew member.
Now we are going up through the main street of Runavík. You can see shop here, and this building we have on our right hand side here is the main hall. Tourist information is here. Here we have the banks and security shops here. In front of us we have a beautiful sport hall here, and gymnastics is very famous here in Runavík. There was actually a teacher here, come from Tórshavn, come to here, called Kai Åke Trust, and I think they should make a statue of him here, because he can get this gymnastics sport here in Runavík for very special for this area, and they are the best in the Faroe Islands in many of this kind. Today he is retired from as a teacher, but for 2 weeks ago they make him to a very special person in the organization here at the gym. Here we had a police station here, but since we get this subsidy, we have 2 subsidy tunnels in the Faroe Island. This is Faroe Island, but it's best the sheep is laying on the road. Especially when you come here in the summertime, they're laying on the road, because the asphalt is very hot. So they just laying on the road, because also the road is dry. So that's the reason a lot of sheep are laying on the road, and then we have to do slowly. Not because they come to the car if you do that. Because the farmer also do that. And then they know they get some food. I have some sheep, and I just, when I come with my car, the sheep come on. And they just, because I must do it after I have stopped my car, because after that it's not possible to do it. Yeah. The program for today is we can drive out to this windmill, just take a view. We can see into the capital of Tórshavn, and then we go to Navia, where you can look for liquor and so on. And then we go to Blasastova. It's an old traditional place in the Faroe Island, in Göta. And then we take a viewpoint in Fuglafjord, so you can see this beautiful place. So you have seen 2 beautiful places on 2 special things on your trip. Yeah. Yesterday we had this special day, as you know. A lot of people was coming here. We had 2 ships. The Norrøna, the ferry sent between Denmark and Faroe Islands, was in the harbor last week, working as a hotel. And there was also a Danish ferry here in Faroe Island. So much hotel. We had it for about 25 years ago. Then I was allowed to sleep in the school and so on, but now they want to have a hotel. Now we are going on a small road, but don't be afraid to have driving this windmill. Total solar eclipse in 1954, and they said it get darker at that time than yesterday. I don't know how it was on the sea, but when I was standing in Midway on the island of Voar, it was not really dark. I think it would be really dark, but it was not so. But it only was take 2 hours. It was too short.
Yeah.
I want half an hour.
Yeah.
Because I was standing there, but it was very cold. I was freezing before, but there was sometimes we have a kind of hurricane, and that's a problem. If you can see just in front of us, here, just in front of us, you can see some windmills on Torshavn.
Yeah.
That is 13 windmills over there. And you can see the houses, that is Torshavn. You can see just in front of us here. A lot of houses. You cannot see into the old part, but that is Torshavn. There live about 20,000 people. And one thing you mentioned here, because the people are living normally in family houses. Yeah. And the island you can see just in front of us, this is Sandoy. This is Streymoy, where Torshavn is on. We are now on the Estroy, East Island. That is Streymoy. And we will see an island just in front of us when we come to the last spring. The water was 26 degrees. I don't think it was for some days, but it's still water coming out. So they want, maybe they can heat some houses up here with this 26 degrees. And here you can see a gas tanker looking in front of us just here, out of Torshavn. Normally they are waiting in Scandinavia, somewhere in Denmark, because they have to go up to Norway for gas. Because there's a Faroes captain on that ship, so they are waiting here in the Faroe Islands.
Yeah.
They've been laying here for about 3 weeks. Yeah. This place you can see just in front of us here, this was a windmill here. Vad har du spår ut? Vill du vara med till?
Det var ett tjugo.
Jag kör bara ut. This road is actually new also. I have my sunglasses on because sometimes the light is very bright here.
9:40 and we have our first stop. We've got the wind turbines and then swinging round. Fishing boat out to the sea there.
Now.
We're going to meet at the
I think because the birds' life here in summertime is very special here. And you can see the road down there, if you on your left side. That is the Elwick.
This is soil grade, isn't it? Do they burn the soil?
No. We had peat in the old days in the Faroe Islands, but not at the moment. Du ser där på sida kvar.
Yeah, they're all.
He would have waited there anyway.
This road is called. When you're fishing on the long line, you put some food on the long line. Blue Cross, don't know you. For people who are drinking too much alcohol, and they have a problem with alcohol, they come here so they can be helped. Because we have a big problem with alcohol in the Faroe Islands. Here down you can see the old church of this. This is an old place, and the church, this was the main church of Estroy down here in the old days. The priest of Estroy was staying down here. This was the old church. For example, I have 40 sheep by my own, private own. And all the sheep are marked here in Faroes. I will talk about more about that, and I will also talk about the winter the weather this winter when we were driving from Navia, because we have had But here you can see the old church down here. This is one of the old church. But we come in Goethe, then we can see also we come to visit one of the old church in Goethe. This place is called Nes, and a little bit later we come to a place called Tofter, and I will show you the place. There's two cousins, they're living in the house beside each other. One is living in Nes and one is living in Tofter. Now we are on Nes, still, and we are driving in this road here. And then we come to the new church in Tofter. This is Nes. And here, this house is on Nes, and this house is on Tofter. And their cousin that was living here. Now we are on Tofter. So, when you're driving between places in Faroes, not every time driving for a long time. And here we have the new church, and here we have the fish factories down here, this area, in this harbor here. And upside there you can see just in front of on the mountain in front of us, that is one of the football stadiums, the first actually the real football stadium in the Faroe Islands. You can see the house, and they was playing against Scotland, and Faroe Islands get against Scotland. And Faroe people were very, very proud. Scotland. We are never playing against England.
Oh wow, that was nice for a football stadium. I mean, that was on TV. I watched games with Scotland and
My first really match where the Faroes national team was playing was against Shetland Islands.
Was it on football match? Yeah.
Because I was traveling in Shetland.
No, he didn't mean.
It's Saturday morning and people are out walking on the hills above the village where we stopped. I've got to get back or they'll be waiting for me on the bus, or they might even go. There are people wandering around on the top of the hill up there. Unfortunately I've not got time to get up there. This looks like the village school. Being a Saturday, it's not occupied today, although there are a couple of children playing in the playground with the equipment that's in there, and a fast descent back into the village where the tour bus is waiting. I have 11 minutes. And here I am, back at the bus. Looks like in plenty of time, with people still coming out the store where they've done all their Christmas shopping. And that is the view up to the top, the stadium where I've been. Athletics track in one, and the football ground in the other one, with nice artificial turf. And the solar eclipse tour is being advertised at 25% off, which is quite a bargain given that the tour was yesterday. The half-hour start is now up, and there's still people to get on board the coach.
They are back in school, not going home because the weather has been so bad. Windy and snow. So the winter has been very, very terrible. So you are lucky now, the weather is good. This is a very, very nice day in Faroe Islands tomorrow. The sun is coming up again. It was a little bit dark yesterday, you know. But today is very clear here. Now, again, you can see the ship. We are driving into Gotha now. And this area is, now if you was on Malta here, there's a lot of fishing ship here. And this is a one of the big fish factory in the Faroe Island, called Faroe Region. So sometimes people are a little bit tired of this weather this winter. For paraments, that man on the bike is normally in a police dress. He is very kind. We have our parliament called Lagting, and there are sitting 33 persons in Lagting in the Faroe Islands. 7 parties. Our political system is a little bit special. We have the left and right wings, and then we also have some party who want to be independent from Denmark, and some parties who want to belong to Denmark. So you can see that is not so easy. Today, the parties we have in the Sambandsflokkurin, we have the chairman, they won't belong to Denmark, and they are together with Folkeflokkurin, a conservative party. They don't want to belong to Denmark. So it's very special here in the Faroe Islands. And so we have this 7 parties. Some of them are very small. Some of them are only 1 members of the parliament, and we most have 6, 7, 8 at the moment. And the chairman we call Lagmaur, and he is working out of, if you see some pictures of Tórshavn, you can see some red buildings. The mother gets paid from the government money to be home for 24 weeks after the child is born. When the child is half a year, they can go to the kindergarten, and then they go to kindergarten till they're 6, 7 years old. And then they go to school, and then we have a school system for 9 years, and then they can choose the 10th year, and after that they can go to the gymnasium, for 3 years, and then they can go to the university or study and so on. We have a small university here in the Faroe Island called Frøskaparsetur Føroya. The school system in the Faroe Islands is when you start about 7 years old, you have maths and you have science, you have also the Faroes language. And when we start in the third degree, you start with Danish language in school, and when we go to the fourth degree, you start with English. So then we have this three language, but in the Faroes language lesson, you have to learn about Icelandic language, and in the Danish lesson, you have to learn about Norwegian and Scandinavian language. When we are speaking, we choose to get Latin. So you can see we have a lot of language in our school system. So we learn a lot of languages here, and then we also understand a lot of language. Some people ask how many people are speaking Faroese language. We have our own language. We are living 49,000 people here, and maybe 20,000, 20,000, 30,000 people are speaking Faroese language in Denmark, all around the world. For example, my sister's daughter living in Denmark, she is married to a Faroese man. They are talking Danish to their children. Very stupid. Sometimes that we just learn only one language, that's the problem. They learn Spanish. And I was traveling once in the south of Argentina, English chocolate, not Danish. Because the man was also sailing a lot to Scotland and England, and they buy sweet from England. So, and when we drink tea here, what is called Sirigöta is here just down here. And Siri means actually south. You can see over there, that is Norragöta, and between we have Götejeng. If you're talking about the geological part of area, you can see in front of us how they go down and out of this arm of the fjord there, and go down and more or less in the ocean. That's because Faroe Island is going down in the east. In the summertime, they have a big music festival here on the beach. Today the beach is not so big because we are in the winter. It's early spring, last part of the winter. Now we can say it's spring because we have the 21st of March, then we change from winter to spring. So the spring gets a little bit longer. So they have a big music festival down here on the beach here. And then this village is all kind of music festival. But today the beach is not so big. We are going to visit Norragöta. We are going to the old church, and we also go to the old house there. And in front of us you can see the new church here in Göta. When I talk about church here in Faroe Island, it's the Protestant Lutheran church. Sorry, but we always call it church, but we...
And we find a statue. Maybe it was blown into that position, I don't know. And there are quite a few properties with grass roofs. But then we have a grass roof in Ravenshead. And there's another one. And there's another one. Just a thought, I may be walking in somebody's garden. I don't know.
I don't think it matters.
I don't know. There's a very impressive rock formation on the hill above the village. And around the corner there it stretches even more extensively. You see the buildings in the harbour and the fishing vessels. There's a fishing boat, I think, in the harbour. You see the buildings in the harbour and the fishing vessels. And, there's a fishing boat, I think, in the harbour. Here is a landing stage with the boats moored either side. Looking back at the village from the mooring stage, this is the view we have, with an old church up there. There is a museum, and then we come round to the properties with grass roofs, and right round to the harbour with its boats again. A container, Faroes ship it says, and there's a boat there. A rather lovely little mountain above the village. The roof of the church is rather interesting, consisting of the wooden sections, which is unusual. Another view of the village, and the grass roof building there, and the church there. The original tour bus is now leaving, with Faroe Islands clearly on the back. We will return to our horizontal man with visiting map of the Faroe Islands. So here is the museum, and also the start of a mountain path. And inside the museum there is one of the rooms with some old equipment, and another of the rooms. Nice sleeping quarters there, nicely hidden away. Looks very comfortable. And an old sewing machine. I don't think it's a Singer. And up the mountain path for a few yards we find another opened building, possibly another museum, and the path goes on wending its way up those hills. And one vehicle there, a Jeep that's seen better days. Doesn't have a registration plate on the front anyway. And so the track wends its way, possibly following the stream. Where does it go? Does it get to the top? I think that's the first Mini I've seen on this holiday. I didn't see any in Norway. There's one on the Faroe Islands. There is another stadium built over there, which don't seem to have its playing areas, the football stadium. You can just see the football there. what looks like a very old building here. And similar around to where our buses were parked, with views of the grass-roofed houses. The back of the statue has writing on it. Just a 5-minute stop.
We have one hospital in Tórshavn, the main hospital, and then we have also a small hospital in Suðuroy, Tvøroyri. Today it's easy to travel between Tórshavn and Klaksvík because we have 2 substitute tunnels. We have 80 tunnels, and we 80. And one of them are just for sheep. Because they make a tunnels to a small village, and there was a valley, so the farmer can go out and feed the sheep. So they make from the tunnel a tunnel out of this valley.
We've just made it back in time, 13 minutes, and we would have been left stranded, I think. The last coach, is it, has arrived back. So I suspect we should be late away because it's now 12:46. About the numbering system, you can choose whatever letters you like and whatever number you like, I think, if you wish, providing it's available at a price. So JG001 would be ideal. There are about 576,000 combinations. Is the population 70,000? So there's plenty of numbers to go round. And 1:45 by the ship's clock. Final look at Braemar, docked at the other dock here. I think we're leaving before they are, so we've had a slightly shorter stay. Misty scene just before we leave, and there is the pilot boat. Just coming alongside now. So we're leaving the Faroes with a journey of over 1,000 miles ahead to arrive at Southampton about 6:30 Let's see, Sunday and Monday. Will it be an interesting journey back, travelling down the west coast, Scotland and England. Somewhere in the distance there is the port that we've just left. This is the position at about 8 p.m. on Saturday.